Live from 3 Cup Studio in Seoul, this is the GSL.
We're back at the GSL Contest, and it's time to go on to our second best of 3. We had a fantastic series between Stats and Impact. Stats overall just showing exactly why he has produced such impressive results in 2017. Out-surviving the wrath of Impact, especially in that mid-game, mid-late game.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we go on to our next match.
And another good one between 2 GSL champions that people don't think about too much as GSL champs, but they are. JJAKJI, by the way, I do have to say, for me personally, his ID gives me the most pleasure, capped and uncapped. Like, you know, like some IDs are good capped, some are good uncapped, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Like a fully capitalized JJAKJI is like beautiful and sensual, and then like just all lowercase. Also, I look at that and I'm like, that's great as well. Like, this guy just can't go wrong with his caps.
There is an art to capping your ID.
And very few people can cap all the letters and make me be like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if Classic capped all his letters, I'd be like, you know what? This guy's not even going to make it out of his group.
Classic can only cap all of his letters if he was as successful as Innovation.
Yeah, that would be about it.
Yeah. If think about Innovation's ID for a second. If Innovation had subpar results, if he was like producing the results of, say, Billowy, I'd be like, you can't have that ID anymore, buddy.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. Now, Classic is somebody, if you've been following StarCraft 2 for the last few years, especially if you were trying to learn Protoss, you were definitely following his games. He's somebody who has had his own approach to the matchup, stylistically speaking. And he's somebody who was at the pinnacle of his career about 2 years ago, and now is trying to climb his way back up.
That's true, actually. I didn't think of it like that, but you're right.
So, should Classic be JJAKJI? I think so, but JJAKJI's actually, despite not having the results he had once produced in the first year of StarCraft 2, is still a very scary player.
GSL Season 1, Code S, Daybreak.
When the lights come on, when the crowd goes wild, rip the roof off of the hilltop.
Titan EX1, JJAKJI.
You know, it's funny because JJAKJI, we knew him when he was super young, and now he's all grown up.
Yeah.
He's a man now. And it's kind of crazy how long we've been casting this that we get to see these guys grow and develop.
It's always been a very weird thing for me.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, so many of these guys as kids. I remember watching a young Nada play in his first StarCraft tournaments.
Yeah.
And now he has a daughter same age as me. Just both like these older guys that still play StarCraft.
Yeah,
like,
isn't it funny?
It's like really weird. But look, JJAKJI specifically is, I mean, he's one of like the cooler stories in a way. He has more ups and more downs than almost anyone. Occasionally, he'll be up at the top of the ladder. He'll be killing it in practice. He'll be doing well. He'll have a few great tournament matches, and then he disappears, and everyone forgets about him. And then, like, he qualifies, like, oh, yeah, no, JJAKJI, he's always in the GSL. But, like, this guy is a former champion of GSL. That was a long time ago. And then he's had... It's so wild to me how many ups and downs it's been. It's more than... Like, everyone... There's, like... We discount him every time, like, we're like, yeah, no, JJAKJI's probably dead. He just plays these magnificent games.
He's actually the guy I think we've talked about the least in this group. Maybe you and I are a little bit more excited by the other 3 players, but realistically, JJAKJI's somebody, you're right, you just should not count out. He can always deliver, and you know, he was somebody who was incredibly good at the very, very start of the game, which means he has a great RTS sense overall. He's not somebody who's just copying what players before him were doing until he finally found his way.
He was... He played StarCraft 2 very close to StarCraft 1's style early on in StarCraft 1.
Very true.
Like the season he won, we were like, wow, this looks like a StarCraft 1 player here. It's pretty cool. Because they're quite different games that are played pretty differently. That is a proxy barracks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, he's going Ghost Academy. Oh, that's so handsome. Oh, he's just going to win the game with that. Okay,
this is cool, man.
Yeah. You know what's funny is he was talking about in his interview, he's like, you know, I hope there's going to be a patch before I play. I'm fairly certain that the patch is in 2 days. The patch is going to make it a little bit better for Terran in this matchup. But the one thing Terran does have right now that's pretty good against Protoss is Cloaked Ghost Rush.
Yeah. That's actually funny because this was one of the older builds, too, at the very, very start of the game as well, was people were messing around with the timing of certain, just using Ghost right away.
Yeah. Because
traditionally in the matchup, it wasn't something you immediately thought you had to scramble to get detection against.
Yeah,
and so, yeah, go ahead.
They come out so quickly.
Yeah.
Opening Robo right now, like, you can do it. It's not necessarily bad, but people generally don't do it. It's like,
that's right.
Oracle is pretty good opener still against Protoss. Definitely a quick Twilight is really nice. Thing is, you're not as afraid of Widow Mines, right?
Sure,
because they reveal after their shot. So suddenly the Ghost can be very deadly, and it starts with Cloak, so you're not even getting extra upgrades. This Ghost, for instance, unless he sees it coming in walls, is going to kill a lot of probes.
This Ghost right now is beelining up. You can see that Classic is ready to defend against possibly a drop or anything else, not a Cloaked Ghost walking right into the front door of his base.
This is going to be painful, man. They kill a probe so quickly here. Now he's going to block that ramp with the Stalkers. Just hold position. There you go.
The Ghost still with about 20 energy here. Gets another probe.
Definitely, this is how you want to counter it if it's done this late. If you can block the ramp like this, that's a really great move.
Now, when it's all said and done, he only got 4 probes.
Yeah.
So
it was handled quite well by Classic. But you know what? 4 probes in that lost mine time, it's okay still, I think. It's not the greatest thing we've ever seen.
But I mean, I do wonder. Because, unlike if you get an Oracle, let's say, for instance, with Protoss against a Zerg, just for the sake of this analogy, actually with this being spotted, I think this is actually going to get pretty bad Artosis. Let's say that you get an Oracle against Zerg, and you kill off 4 drones. Well, the Oracle still has all this utility later on. Does the Ghost have the same utility? I don't think so.
Well, not exact. I would say it has more late-game utility than an Oracle, except for tagging. But mid-game, maybe it's not as good.
That's basically my point, is that this doesn't help you at all from here on out until you get to, a point in time where you can really start using Ghosts against very, very high-tech, sophisticated stuff that Protoss is trying to do. Oh, good.
He just landed
He just
again.
snuck back over there. Yeah. He's even upgrading from that.
By the way, he has his 2 Ghosts still sitting out there. So that's kind of cool. With those Ghosts, he might be able to just run in later, kill some probes,
That's what I was wondering.
just meet up with the army, use some EMPs and stuff. They're still a very useful unit. Definitely Ghosts are good.
Stalker's coming up now. Shaving off just a few Marines. Not sure about that targeting, but he's backed up now. Now, there's still Marauders being made out here. It is possible that JJAKJI's going to come up with a big follow-up attack here.
Oh my god, he could flank with the 2 Marauders because his concussive shell just finished.
Yep.
He might be able to kill several Stalkers on the way back.
Okay, the Ghosts are coming with this.
Dude.
Again, the map is very well positioned here. Classic's very well positioned on the map, I should say, with the observers. All right, here we go.
Look at this move. Look at this move.
Okay. Now, can he catch up? He's continuing to give those few Stalkers in the back. He's coming in for the attack now.
Oh my god, and look at this. Throws the EMP down on his sentry as well. Oh, I'm loving this play.
Okay, but
super cool.
There's an Immortal out here, but the targeting...
What Immortal?
Yeah, that was a great play there. I was just saying before, I didn't think that these Ghosts had that much utility. I guess they actually did manage to help out a little bit with the fight. Yeah. Although I think a lot of this was more due to the concussive shell, but
the flanking awesome Marauders was fantastic.
I guess those Stalkers should probably have stayed back, gotten rid of that tech lab.
But he flew it over dead terrain. You don't think he's going to land it and upgrade, get a tech lab again and make Marauder, but he did, and that's super cool. Man, I'm getting chills. Like, this was such a cool play by JJAKJI. I'm such a fan right now, Tasteless. You still know who to cheer for.
It's too hard to cast. I'm too busy rooting for JJAKJI.
I just love that play.
He could actually bring this all the way to the natural if he wants to.
Dude, those units are getting pretty low on health.
Yeah.
Goodbye, units. I don't think so, man. I think he should have just gone home with these.
Yeah, this
You
may
see
have
how
been
low they were?
a bit too ambitious. But he's actually reinforcing with more Marauders up here. This Immortal's pretty far back. Some of these Stalkers are going to be picked out before the Immortal can even fire its first shot.
Okay, good pickup.
For just a split second, I thought that was a Warp Prism that came up there and picked up the Terran units. I almost did a double take.
He definitely lost a bit of value there, but he might like that move anyways because it delays the third a little bit longer and he's reducing the Protoss army size. Like, when the armies are smaller, Terran units can kind of outdo Protoss units due to micro.
Very true.
So that might be why he stayed, but it seemed a little bit silly with how low health he was on several units. Or overall, right? He had already stemmed.
Well, I suppose the fact that he's getting his third up now, and really he just needs to keep making Marine Marauder medevac, where Protoss does have to climb up that mountain of Sentry, Stalker, Zealot, Immortal, and even more after that. Maybe he feels like this is a advantageous playing field to have here. And I think we're actually going to see another push in just a minute as the rest of these units begin to rally out.
I'm a little bit nervous for JJAKJI because I see that 2-2 is almost done. It's halfway done for Classic, but that's almost with Chrono Boost. Once he has 2-2 against 1-1, that's going to be a tough amount of time right there. That's going to, to actually kill a Protoss player when they're up a couple upgrades it can be tough.
Might come down to some of these Widow Mine hits as well.
Yeah.
There's enough sentries here. He can definitely dice up the army and try to pick his fights accordingly there.
Does he have any ghosts in his army right now?
I don't believe he does.
I would love to see him just add one. He still has a Ghost Academy, so...
Yeah, I mean, I don't see one.
I don't see one.
I don't see one in that army now.
There's not.
But I think you're basically right. It wouldn't hurt to just have one.
Yeah.
Protoss army's still probably going to be clumped up, especially the sentries.
EMP is pretty worthwhile spell. I like the amount of Widow Mines he's pumping out right now. Definitely very useful. Wow. 4 medevacs loaded up immediately here. Definitely going to force a recall, I think.
Now, keep in mind that the Stalkers also still have blinks, so they can still try to catch medevacs.
Oh, you know what's cool? He's going to set this up right here, and then if you even recall, it's already in position to hurt the army. Oh, he's got to get that drop-off before the Protoss actually hits him, too. That's going to make it even harder.
Well, this is awkward because JJAKJI's actually going around Classic. They seem to be unaware of this either.
Okay, he does the recall.
Going for the Templar Archives.
Widow Mines. Ooh. Well, the attack of the third base might actually be what actually does the damage.
So this drop is basically completely picked up and wiped out here by Classic. But yeah, I think you're right, Artosis. Taking out this expansion may be the real story.
Yeah, he does end up getting it there, and the Widow Mines will help him to clear out these units.
Okay, so Protoss is eventually going to close this out, winning this fight. JJAKJI with a supply lead. Another drop coming in here and actually pulls out.
Oh, that's
when he
funny.
sees that there's no probes over there mining.
What's he going to do with it?
Yeah.
What's that Marauder going to do? I thought it was a Widow Mine at first.
Me too, me too. So, Classic may try to come out here and actually do some damage. Classic needs to be careful, though. He doesn't know this for sure, but he is, in fact, quite behind in supply overall.
Yeah.
And with some really good control here from JJAKJI, as long as he doesn't lose too much, I think he's basically going to be in the lead. Let's see if he can hold his base, though, coming up here.
Dude, I just want to see him, lift his third base or something. All he needs to do is live, and he's going to be so far ahead.
Okay, force field's coming down now. SCV's being pulled to try to hold on.
Yeah, he's going to be able to hold this without any problem, especially with the rallying down units at the moment. The SCV pull was fantastic. Those force fields were actually pretty lackluster at first.
Okay, Classic's going to go all the way inside. JJAKJI having to pull a lot of workers right now to try to hold this, but the Marines and Marauders coming down from above. Warp Prism is taken down. It almost looks like it was picked up into a medevac there.
I know, yeah.
That was kind of an odd animation. There it is, GG.
Yeah, wrong graphical settings on for sure on the Observer PC.
JJAKJI winning game number 1. As we've said before, I guess we really shouldn't be that surprised.
This was a very good play by JJAKJI. I like the Ghost Rush, but Classic dealt with it extremely well. The flank of the Marauders, the fact that got caught, and then he went back and landed it, made the Marauders to flank, he microed the Marauders exactly 100% perfectly. You can see he practiced specifically that.
Yeah.
Because when he started to run the Marauders, like, the Marauders stemmed up behind the Stalkers and then ran down into the left when the Stalkers were running up into the right. And I'm like, is that correct? It's like, yes, because if he runs up and towards the right where the Stalkers are surely to blink, he will lose both of them immediately.
Now, let's not forget.
That was so well done.
Let's not forget that JJAKJI won that with a very odd opener. Proxy Ghost. Now, the Ghost didn't win him the game, but it definitely set the stage for a very awkward response from Protoss, which JJAKJI then capitalized on, pushed in and did a lot of damage. What is he going to do this time around? If JJAKJI is forced into playing a more textbook Terran versus Protoss, is Classic, in fact, the better player?
Yeah, I don't know. But that was superb strategic and tactical play by JJAKJI.
It was.
That's the type of play I want to see more of right there from Terran.
Okay, our game is now loaded up.
GSL
JJAKJI
Season
versus
1,
Classic, Game 2.
Code S, Daybreak.
When the lights come out.
Titan EX1, JJAKJI.
It's a really cool play from him that first game. You watch it beats Classic, like the guys that I thought were going to get out of the group, fighting the loser match.
Classic.
What else is new? I don't think that this game will look quite like that. Killing that third base was such a clutch move, and with such a strange build, such odd tactics. You know, it's hard to replicate a game like that.
Well, that's a game that, you know, you have like maybe 1 in 100 that look like that.
Yeah.
Maybe even more.
Like,
One
maybe
in-
he can force that out against an opponent that hasn't seen it. But
yeah. Well, that's what I'm wondering with JJAKJI is that, generally speaking, I mean, of course, you need to have some crazy plays, some unpredictable moves here, but you also just have to be a very solid, well-rounded player, generally speaking, to win a tournament. Not to take a game off of a good player, but to win a tournament, like especially the GSL. That I don't know what it's going to look like if these guys play normal. I wonder if Classic is going to look much, much scarier, because Classic was basically trying to find his footing through most of that game.
Yeah.
After getting blindsided by a Ghost Rush.
Yeah.
You have to think of all the different things going on in Classic's mind, visualizing probably a much more standard game and how he's going to deal with that, getting ready for maybe like the Widow Mine drop, and then suddenly there's a Ghost in his base, and then we get to see Classic start to think on his feet. But, you know, if you get two players, one like JJAKJI, let's say that JJAKJI mostly wins his games looking like that, whereas Classic's games look more standard. If you make them play 100 games back-to-back, the player who's a little bit better at standard stuff tends to win more in the long run.
that is true.
Where the player who's a little bit sneaky and tricky will usually win maybe more games out of the first 10.
Sure.
And things start to fall apart. So,
And things don't always have to look like that as well. Let's not forget, like, SOS, for instance, right? This guy, I don't know what 100 games of SOS against the same person looks like. You know? Like, but he might be a person that can break a rule like that. Oh, painful.
So, great pick-off there to start things off with Classic. It's going to be JJAKJI a little bit more in the dark right now.
Okay, so some Hellions being made. We'll see if a wall-in occurs here with extra gates from Classic. Generally, especially if you're going for something like Quick Blink, you're going to want to make a bit of a wall at the front so you don't just straight up die to something like 4 Hellions running in. There's like a couple running around right now. Widow Mine's being made afterwards.
Okay, these Hellions now passing the 2 Stalkers.
He didn't see them
I
pass.
can't believe this.
Okay, he's
No,
making
he
a
knows.
wall.
And
Oh, beautiful. What a
nicely
block,
done.
what a block.
Yeah. Very important he got that off, otherwise he'd be in a lot of trouble.
I guess he did see that.
Yeah.
The Stalkers now are going to wreck everything. Oh, man. That's painful. That's a depot he was making. His mind's on. Oh!
I'm so
Touche!
surprised. Yeah. And now, immediately, JJAKJI boosting that medevac as it beelines towards the Protoss' natural.
Wow, those two Widow Mines, man, really ruined his day.
They each shot a Stalker, too.
Yeah, it's pretty valuable. I guess the 2 SCVs were worth it there.
Now, Blink is about to finish, but I think this drop's going to get in here a few moments before.
Yeah, he's going to have to pull his Stalkers to deal with Widow Mines, and then the Hellions are just sitting there waiting.
Okay, here we go. First drop coming down.
Oh! All right, great splitting here by Classic.
Oh, this is actually not going to work out for. This is not going to work out here for JJAKJI, I think, at all. Does he know that there's one last Widow Mine?
I think, yeah.
He has to, right?
If he didn't, he could have lost the game there easy.
Right. Okay, very nicely done.
Yeah.
But it's now going to be Stalkers with Observers out on the map. Oh, my God!
Ooh.
Oh! Okay, great play. That was a big loss there. This Stalker counterattack may close this one out.
Yeah.
I think he can just blink on top of the tank.
Yeah, he has to keep the tank alive, and I don't think that's going to be possible. He has something like 8 or 9 Stalkers right now. So a blink forward. The thing is, the bunkers aren't going to have that many Marine. Well, actually, it's only one bunker. That was an eBay, but one Marine in it. Oh, second siege tank, though. Maybe he can hold on.
Well, let's see here. Okay, so he's going to go for the... What was that?
He got it.
Okay. He actually blinks away. Now, when that cooldown finishes, he might have an opportunity to come in once again and blink on that tank. Or if he wants to, he could try to just blink into the main, which Shine is showing us is not a bad idea at all over here right now, too.
Yeah, he's actually making a bunker up there, realizing that this is definitely a realistic follow-up. I love the Hellion here. Look at that. He's trying to deny a base, but it looks like the gold is actually the one that Classics is taking. 2 Forges coming up, getting charged as well, continuing to try to harass a little bit.
Okay, I think actually the time is up for this Stalker harass. It doesn't seem like anything else is going to occur here that's going to really help Classic at all.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Which is fine. I mean, Classic's already switching and powering up. He's getting a lot more gateways. He's got 2 Forges going. And even if he could just keep Terran intimidated and pinned here inside the base, that's more than enough.
Okay, so I think what we're going to see is an attack coming out of JJAKJI relatively soon here. I think he'll get combat shields, which will line up with +1 finishing pretty well. And then he's going to have... Oh, no.
Oh, that was so sick.
Wow. But if he has 3-4 siege tanks, right, I think he's going to have 4 tanks, plus medevacs, plus Marines with +1 stim and combat shields. That's like it's a pretty scary push, but Charge is going to finish up. He's going to have 1-1 as well.
He's getting Immortals as well.
Yeah. It seems like a good counter.
I know. I actually think Classic should be okay.
Yeah, I do too.
With this push. He's going to have to try to do everything possible to stall. Anything that can make the tank siege up or make Terran try to regroup and slow down in the push is going to be helpful. Actually, man, am I wrong? This is a pretty scary army.
It is a scary army, but how many gates does Classic have? Because he has his gold base done.
I think he's got 7 or something like that. Am I wrong?
I'm not sure.
Okay, hold on. The sniping stuff with these medevacs is huge.
Oh my god.
Oh, so
We've
good.
seen 3 medevacs sniped recently.
So crazy.
Those, like, the amount that changed it. Look, he's bringing his SCVs. JJAKJI knows that this is a bad position.
With the SCVs here,
Imagine,
I mean, he's basically all in, guys, but, you know,
oh, yeah, he's super all in.
JJAKJI definitely going with the way this game has been flowing.
Oh, my God. The amount of... He's dead. JJAKJI's dead.
Well, that siege up is not going to help him.
No.
He sieged up way too far back.
If he had 3 more medevacs here even, I think that Classic might still hold it. Look at the amount of Zealots he has. He has 28 Zealots.
Okay. Protoss coming in now. And yeah, this overwhelming amount of Zealots.
Jeez. Unbelievably rare.
We may see JJAKJI tap out here.
Yeah.
I don't really see any way that he's going to try to stay in this game and last. There it is. Okay, Classic takes game 2.
Well, all right. Well done there. Tried to get a little bit cheeky there with the Widow Mine drops, the Hellions running by, but Classic's defense was really, really nice. Picking off all those medevacs was super nice, and JJAKJI just not able to really get anything going there.
So we are going to go into game number 3. The winner of this match is going to play off against Stats. The loser of this match is going to play off against Impact.
Yeah.
To be
Both
honest,
matches should be really good.
yeah, realistically, you would have ideally not wanted to face either of those players. Because they are both so dominant right now. So,
Yeah.
again, this is a tough group for everybody.
It's quite true.
Getting out of this group is no small feat. We're going to go to Ascension to IR for our final match. I'm feeling Classic. What about you, Artosis?
Yeah, Classic. I'm staying right with my prediction tastes. I'm not going to wussy out here.
You're thinking it's going to be Impact and Classic to move on?
Absolutely.
You are. Artosis is willing to die on that hill.
I am ready for it.
Okay.
Bring me to Valhalla, Tasteless.
GSL Season 1, Code S, Daybreak.
When the lights come out.
Titan EX1, JJAKJI.
Tasteless, it's so cold here, man.
It is cold.
Up here where we're casting is just freezing. I'm like a little shiver nerd.
I might go get my jacket on the break.
Classic.
I don't remember what it is to be warm. I don't recall. It's
a
been
good
so
feeling.
long.
It's a good feeling.
I wear...
I almost didn't come to the studio today because it was so warm in my bed. I'm like,
Dude,
oh, you know
even
what?
my bed, I wore a sweater. I use multiple blankets, 2 pairs of socks on. I sleep with all that stuff, and I don't overheat at all. I'm just
Okay,
like...
that's impressive. You
My
slept
house
with
is
a
so
sweater
cold.
on?
A sweater, yeah. Literally a wool sweater, my warmest sweater. I guess I was reasonably warm, but not like toasty. I was not toasty.
I will say, I actually think the best way to sleep is in a cold room, but really warm under the covers.
Yes.
Like you can feel that it's
That's
cold out there.
fantastic.
That is the best way to go to sleep.
Yeah.
With a soft, downy blanket.
Oh my gosh, a heavy one too.
A heavy
you need
one.
A heavy blanket.
You
It's
need a
important.
couple pillows in the bed, too.
Oh yeah.
You need to have them.
I like to go from 2 pillows to 1 pillow. I read with 2 pillows, then my head, like, I scooch my body down the bed a little bit, so I'm only on 1 pillow.
Okay, but here's a trick, all right? Because there is a technique to that.
What?
Which pillow do you use to sleep on, the bottom one or the top one?
Well, the
'Cause you
top
gotta
one
rearrange-
becomes warm, so sometimes I use that, but I put the fluffier one up top, but I like to sleep on flatter pillows.
Okay. See, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no.
Also, if you have 2 of the same pillows that you prop yourself up with on your bed, if you're ever in that situation,
Yeah?
which one you put your head on? Not the bottom one, because that
Yeah.
one's too smushed.
Yeah, and it's also too cold.
You need to
The
use
top one you've already warmed with
You
your
got to do
head.
the removal.
You're going to re-warm a pillow? What
Maybe
are
use
you?
that to prop up your knee if you sleep on your side. You ever do that?
No. Oh, well, I sleep on my side all the time.
Yeah.
I almost never sleep on my back or
I sleep on my back. I sleep like a vampire.
No, I sleep in the fetal position basically all the time because I'm always
Is
cold.
that because you're dreaming about playing Terran vs. Protoss and Brood War?
Yes. Oh, man.
Oh my God, this is the
Dude.
second game where we've had the Reaper shot down right away.
Jeez.
Pretty crazy.
Similar build, it's looking like from JJAKJI here, making a couple of Hellions. And similar build from Classic as well. I hope it's not just a repeat of the last game.
I think one of the things that really started to hurt JJAKJI in that last game was when he sent out the medevac with 4 Widow Mines, and it didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and this is something I think we've seen a lot of with JJAKJI, is JJAKJI is not always playing a, let's take this matchup for instance, a Terran versus Protoss, based off of all the TVPs he's ever played. A lot of it is him in the moment. He seems to really want to react and see what you have exactly in that specific game.
He's a very tactical player.
Yeah, he's not necessarily, I don't want to say he's risky because that's not exactly it either. It's that, let's say he kills a few extra stalkers in your game, you will immediately try to set up a follow-up attack to do damage, whereas some other players would say, good, stay back, let's see if we can find any more moments to win fights in the middle of the map. He'll instead pick up and then try to drop and take out more workers, and that's where sometimes his games yo-yo back and forth.
I hope he can do a bit of a better job here, win or lose. Because that final attack was a bit lackluster, I feel like. It's not really spending on that massive Widow Mine drop this time. Just kind of getting his stim, starting some siege tanks. The Hellion does deny that third base, slows that down a little bit for Classic, so that's kind of nice on JJAKJI's side.
I do like Classic going for the blink here. I feel like just knowing the kind of player that JJAKJI is, the fact that he's just getting all the tools necessary to shut down any kind of harass is a very intelligent move.
Yeah, well, I love this style in particular, where you go like 3 gates blink with Robo for observers,
2 forges,
and then third base 2 forge. Like I really like that because, like right now, gateway units are just so good for Protoss that you want the double forge going. Sure, you can start one earlier and like have your +1 chrono and then add a second later, but this just seems to flow really well. This type of build, like this is something Zest does a lot, and if Zest does it a lot, you know it's like a very smooth thing.
Okay, the observer moving across the map now to try to get a read on what exactly JJAKJI's gearing up for. It does look like on the minimap, JJAKJI's actually beginning to have his push come out here. Is he just going to try to push this third base, or is this really more of an attempt to try to move out? For instance, try to scan an observer and take that out?
Well, he's making a decent amount of siege tanks, and this is what makes me scared, because if you're making siege tanks, you have to attack with them. They don't gain value as the game goes on, they lose value. The thing is, they can gain value, but the way that this matchup generally operates...
That was sick.
Yeah. The siege tanks are not going to do that much for you. When the game gets really big, your just charge lots are going to run in, and they're just really not going to be so valuable. They're really good, though, when it's like a very stalker-heavy defense. But charge is going to be finishing up.
But you have to think that the moment that you see those siege tanks, you say, okay, he's actually going to try to push me. Let's just get ready and try to hold that attack. And by the way, this is a huge map to push across.
He's pulling his SCVs. He's doing it again.
Okay.
I guess he's decided that this is a good build, but
2013 here.
Yeah.
Remember when every game we casted them was this SCV pool?
Yeah. Well, this isn't going to work again because it's going to be 1-1 in charge lots, right? I don't think it's going to.
Well, he'd have to do so much damage, and even then the game might just go on. But let's see. I mean, it's going to come down to control.
The Stalkers are kiting so much here.
Whoa. That was close. Okay, a scan. Zealots and Immortals set up. One Immortal could get pinned up here against the gates. Bunkers going down.
I like the bunkers. This is a new good ad from the last game.
All right, here we go. And Terran is dead.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Yep. No more tanks. It's just Marines. The medevacs are going to die. Okay, well, Terran lost 18 SCVs.
You know,
I'm not sure if JJAKJI's going to try to play this in a longer game, because this is pretty futile from here on out.
Yeah, no, he's super dead, you're right. And that 2-2, like, if he does want to play it, it only lasts until 2-2 finishes. Like, that's the longest this game could ever last. Yeah, I don't know, man. You just keep making charge lots from here, and it seems pretty impossible.
That's it. GG. Classic, I think deservedly so, is going to move on to the winner's match.
You know, I could see that build breaking Classic's build if his Stalkers are not on the other side of the map. He slows the push down a lot. He picks off a huge amount of Marines on the way over, and even forced 1 siege. You know, he slowed it all down quite a bit. And if it hits a bit more swiftly, then, you know, there you go. That could be a strong build, but just not working at all against Classic.
You know,
that one.
Honestly, I'm getting worried for JJAKJI in this group.
Yeah.
And no matter what, he's going to have to play a Protoss in the final match if he manages to beat Impact, which is already a crazy tall order.
Yeah.
And right now, he just seems to be obsolete in any kind of standard build in TVP. We're going to a commercial. When we come back, Stats vs. Classic.